Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and today we're going to be going through your Pokemon hot takes. About a week ago I asked people to give me their Pokemon hot takes on my community post on my channel, and I got 1,200 replies, so I figured we'd do something similar to Pokemon Buffs That You Want, where I sat here for about an hour and just read through and give you my thoughts on the hot takes that you guys gave me. Now, of course, if you do enjoy this type of video, feel free to subscribe. My end of the year goal for this channel is 300k. And yeah, if you like it, leave a like as well. So without further ado, needed just a little bit of a sip of a drink right there, just a little taste. But yeah, so the first one we have right here is Heatran is a frog. Heatran is a frog. So I'm already a little bit stumped because I'm not entirely sure if I agree or disagree with this. So I know that Heatran walks on walls as well, and as someone who loved Diamond and Pearl, I always thought of that Pokemon as a spider Pokemon. And I know that frogs, though, they do also stick to walls through, like, adhesion, like wet adhesion. But Heatran is made of lava, and I'm stumped. I don't know if it's a frog. I'm pretty positive it's this four-legged spider, but, I mean, it could just as easily be a frog. I gotta look up Heatran. I gotta look it up. Yeah, like this might be a frog. Hold up. I don't know. I think it's a spider though. It might be a frog though. Hold on. I'm already stumped. We just started. Okay, here's mine. Joey is actually a Mr. Mime. I'm not sure how to feel about this, because I definitely talk too much to be a Mr. Mime. But I move a lot with my hands. But I'm Puerto Rican and Italian, so that's kind of a given. What does this mean? I just need. Elias or Elias, you need to tell me, you need to comment down below in the comment section and tell me what you mean by this. Meteor Beam should not have 90% accuracy. This isn't a hot take. I just needed someone to see this because, goddamn, how is a one-turn charge-up move gonna miss on me? Yo, facts. Honestly, I think anything, it's not a hot take, but it's, you know, an opinion, and I'm completely fine with that because I know there's a lot of people that did stuff like that too. I feel like any move with 90-95% accuracy, especially at least in this case, right? Let's say Sky Attack and Meteor Beam, and specifically, if I already have to go through the drawback of giving up a free turn, why the hell can I miss? Why the hell can I miss? No, this is ridiculous. I have to use a power up just to make this move good. Now, granted, as competitive has gotten better, and you know, the Dynamax and stuff, so Meteor Beam is stronger anyway. I don't know. Now, I agree with that 100%. Specs Palkia is one of the best leads in National Dex. Anything goes now. The sucker straight up one-shots offensive Primal Groudon, which is fairly common lead with Earth Power. If it doesn't one-shot when you know it's very special defensive, you make a switch to predict them. Fisher Wren, Hydro Pump, Earth Power, Thunder for Kyogre. Only really loses Xerneas. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to use when literally all four Mons have really all four move that Mons are immune, but dang, if you use it correctly, it punches wide holes. So again, I feel like some of these aren't necessarily hot takes, but people just want to share their opinion on things too. I also love Specs Palkia. I also like Specs Dialga. I don't play any National Dex. Anything goes though. Horde battles are the most underappreciated feature in all of Pokemon. It should be brought back 100%. So back when X and Y came back out and we had Horde battles and we were all EV training because there was no other way to get your Pokemon at that current point in time. Horde battles were awesome. You knock them all out. You have your power item on. Maybe you got Pokerus if you're lucky or someone traded it to you. And you just had everything EV'd like so quickly. Probably one of the best inclusions ever in terms of helping you train up. Obviously, we have like vitamins being buffed now in this current generation, but I think Horde battles were also really cool. Plus, it's also cool to like see a whole bunch of different mons and have one of them be a shiny and then try not to knock it out. The best Sucker Punch mind game is to click it 8 times in a row. 100%. I've only seen one person ever lose that by clicking it 8 times in a row, and that is Thunder Blender 777. He had an Emboar out versus a Landorus, and he could have clicked Flare Blitz immediately, but instead he lost. There is zero reason for Sceptile and Samurai to be primarily special attackers. They both have blades on their arms and have a physical signature move that uses them, not unique to them anymore. 100% too. I have no idea why they did that. They did my boy Sceptile dirty. Sceptile is really dirty. It needs higher, like at least if you're gonna give it the higher special attack. I mean, we can look at it while we're talking about it because why not? I'll open it up. Let's see. You know what? For this video, I'll go in dark mode just because I have my YouTube at dark mode. Dark mode. There you go. Oh god, it's terrible. At least I don't like it on this. But 85 attack is nothing. I mean, it's not no Talonflame. Talonflame is some trash, bro. 81. But, bro, if you're going to give it 105 special attack, you need to give me more than Leaf Storm, Focus Blast, and Dragon Pulse, okay? Granted, we had a hidden power back in the day, but still. And I agree with Samurai as well. I think also Samurai should be part fighting. Magikarp should be the mascot of the franchise. I wouldn't even be mad if Magikarp was the mascot. Because, I mean, I don't think Magikarp's, like, that ugly. It has some appeal, the whole splash thing. And the fact that it evolves into a damn demon is, like, the best part. Like, Gyarados, I think that SSN episode, I remember watching it in the U.S. because I believe the SSN episode was the first one they premiered in the U.S. before they actually premiered Pokemon, like, regularly. And I remember watching it like, years ago. And I remember after the Magikarp got like tossed out and then it evolved into Gyarados and they all did that twister. It was sick. It was sick. Hyper Beam should be reverted to its Gen 1 mechanic. Yes, I think Hyper Beam, Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn, moves like that. Basically, if you guys didn't know, in Gen 1, if you knocked out a Pokemon with Hyper Beam, you don't have to recharge, right? That's the biggest drawback of Hyper Beam. That's why people don't use that in real competitive, except for like Ash and his Snorlax. But that's not real competitive. That is fake. To be honest, what I play isn't real competitive either, so I shouldn't even be talking. But either way, Hyper Beam should definitely be reverted to its Gen 1 mechanic. I think that was really cool. I think there are drawbacks of using it anyway, because back in the day too, if you switched, you were stuck in, right, for an attack. And that's basically what happens now too. I think that'd be such a cool little mechanic. I also think that, well, I liked it back when there was there was no physical special split and moves were just what they were. I wish normal was kind of, like, at least with Hyper Beam, I wish Hyper Beam could be physical or special also, depending on what type of attack. Kind of like Photon Geyser, right? Depending on what is your strongest attack. Shore Up should be more widely distributed. Imagine Pert with Shore Up. I think Shore Up is the best recovery move in the game, right? There's no drawback, and it recovers more in sand. Moves like Morning Sun or Synthesis don't recover in certain weathers as much as they could in other weathers, right? Shore Up doesn't have that drawback. I think a lot of ground types should also have Shore Up. Specifically, I think Pert makes a lot of sense too, because it's like a, what is it, a mudfish? So it could be a sandy area where it's around as well. Legend is awesome. More people should have dual type immune, and more Pokemon should have dual type immune abilities. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think also in the case of Lantern isn't, it's an awesome Pokemon, just like the thought of Lantern. I love like what it is and the whole like lore behind Lantern. I feel like more Pokemon that aren't necessarily top level Pokemon, like Lantern isn't, like Lantern is like a mid to below average Pokemon. I think more Pokemon like that would be a lot better if they had more dual abilities as well. So like even like single stage Pokemon too, like think of Delibird for instance, right? Delibird obviously has that immunity to ground because of its flying typing, but what if it also had an ability that made it, you know, not weak to rock, because Delibird has the coal ability, so the rock just, I don't know what I'm talking about. Ditto should be permanently untiered, letting it be a global wild card. So this obviously has more to do with 66 than it does with anything else. But I also agree that Ditto should just be wherever it wants to be. When a new generation is released and we get things, sorry, I'm just drinking some G Fuel. It's 30% off with code AIM, by the way, if y'all didn't know. It's a caffeinated product, so obviously be aware of what you're putting in. But if you want to pick it up, it's 30% off until Tuesday with code AIM. It's really good. I have the strawberry hydration. It's really late at night, so I just figured, you know, drink some. But the strawberry hydration formula has no caffeine, no calories, no sugar. So if y'all want to pick it up, feel free to. But I agree. I think Ditto should be able to be used anywhere. Whenever a new generation comes out and we have something crazy, right? Like this generation, we had Dynamax. Ditto was like top 5 in usage just because Dynamax is wild and helps deal with it. But that kind of sucks for lower tiers too, because Ditto is only as good as the Pokemon it's fighting, right? I agree. I think that Ditto should be everywhere. It's not really an OU, a UU, whatever. Pokemon Camp was inspired by cooking with Envy. Castform should have Sandstorm form as a Sun, Rain, and Hail form, but no Sandstorm form. 100%. It also should have buffs on all of them. Castform is such a cool Pokemon. The idea behind it is really cool, but I can never see myself using it because look at these base 70. Well, you can't really see it here, but it's base 70 all around, so it's really, really bad. But Castform is really cool. I remember Pokemon XD Gale Darkness and like using like Blizzard and Thunder, Fire Blast. Such a cool Pokemon. Such a cool Pokemon. Wildland should be buffed, as 1.1 barely does anything past 90% accurate moves. It was per se 1.2 times actually be useful in more than just niche cases. Sure, but I guess like would that be pushing it to the edge? The reason you use Wildlands is for moves like what, Triple Axle, maybe the a random Scale Shot. I know a few Magma Storm Heatrans use it too. I think 1.2 would be a little bit too much for Heatran in particular, just because they already nerfed Magma Storm as it is, but I don't know. I feel like 1.2 is too much. That's, what is that? Isn't that a 90% chance that Heatran hits a Magma Storm? We can't do that. That's way too much. The power creep is really starting to catch up to Smogon with all these ridiculously strong mons falling to RU and NU. Smogon should expand its rules for tiering to allow more Pokemon to stay in a tier at a time. Lower the usage percentage required for Pokemon to stay in a tier and allow for more mons to exist in the tier. Right now, there are about 40 Pokemon in each tier, excluding BL. This could be increased to 50 or 60 and would let more strong mons filter up in the lower tiers. Make NU weak again. I do think it's a little bit weird that we see Pokemon like Talonflame, for instance, one of the kings of Gen 6 OU, or at least early or mid Gen 6 OU, maybe not current, in PU, right? Or you see a Pokemon like a legendary falling all the way to NU. I'm talking about like a good legendary, like a Scolipede, not a legendary, but a Scolipede being something like NU as well, when previously it was a ban from UU. So Power Creep is definitely something crazy. I don't know if that's necessarily... well, it's starting to catch up Smogon. It's just, I do think the percentage is a little bit too low for the way they do cutoffs. Like, it's just insane to me that Tyranitar fell down. Like, Tyranitar, the GOAT, right, of OU, just the GOAT. One of the greatest Pokemon of all time, fell down. So I do think they should change and adapt it. I also hate the fact that, like, the tiers shift every, at least look at when the Crown Tundra came out, like the DLC came out, and we had like 10 different metagames in like 2 weeks. It was frustrating. Muddy Water should be ground and flying type move, like a flying press. Now, does that mean it wouldn't work on ground and water type move, like flying press? Does that mean it wouldn't work on Landorus because it's ground plus water, so it takes both? Or is it because it's super effective and then ground is immune, it would be neutral? Like, I have a little bit of trouble with that. I like the thought process behind that, and in fact, if it should have been like that, it should have been a signature move as well for Swampert. But yeah. Nobody in the competitive scene talks about how bad Pokemon's story and single player are for teaching you anything you need to know for PvP play. They feel like two different games, and I've felt that way since RGB. Fixing that would be the best way to make sure PvP has a steady stream of new players each gen and has potential to grow that's it, grow the ... Alright, I'll finish this sentence. Grow this community. I got you, bro. So yeah, I agree with you. But they actually did something different with this generation, right? We had the final gym leader in Sword and Shield actually be an introduction to VGC, which I thought was really cool. But I do agree. Obviously, VGC is the official way to play Pokemon, competitive Pokemon. Battle Stadium Singles is like the secondary way because that's the other option they give us. And then 6v6 is the one we play, but it's also we play it based on community made up rules. So if they gave us, it's really perplexing me, and I've always said this, that you play through the entire game mainly in singles mode, right? You use one Pokemon at a time. Sometimes you have random double battles, but that's fine, but it's not really the focus. And your whole goal is to get this amazing team of 6 to become the best trainer. You know, you might beat a bad guy, but at the end of the day, you do the same thing, right? You beat the Elite Four, whatever equivalent they have to it, and then you become the champion, right? So the whole idea of playing through the game is you're becoming the best singles player there is. That's the idea behind it. You become the best single player there is, and you end the game. First off, why the hell is VGC the official thing? Not that I have anything against VGC, right? I know that 2v2, well, it's 4v4, but, you know, double battles. It's bring 6, pick 4, and it's 2v2. But I know that it's a lot quicker than doing singles, which is why they don't do it. Obviously, there's a whole stall option as well. But it's just really weird that you play through the entire game, but then you're like, oh wait, what? I have to use 2 Pokemon at once in order to play this? Shoot, I wouldn't even know about that if it wasn't for YouTube and stuff like that too. That's a whole different thing. But I agree, Pokemon needs to do a little bit more in the game. Like, have a random dude that stops you and say, hey, look at that sign. They have a VGC tournament coming up, this, and this. That actually updates with the internet, too. I think that'd be really cool as well. That it updated with the internet. But have somebody tell you, hey, you should check out Pokemon official VGC. Hey, if you like this, maybe you could even try the card game type of thing. You know, some cross-promotion in it. Why the hell not, man? We all buying Pokemon cards anyway during this pandemic. Why not? There's so much they could do for that. I agree. Double switches were hype, and Volt Turn Teleport is lame. Hey, my man. I don't know if Volt Turn is could be in there though, because that's been like U-Turn's been there since Gen 4, and then Volt Switch has been there since Gen 5. So we've been doing that forever. It's kind of, Volt Turn and U-Turn are still potentially double switches as well. I think Teleport though kind of whack, man. Especially on regen mons like Slowbro, because you get to see what they do. You don't. I need to be some punishment here. I agree with you. Well, old school. I still think some double switches are still hype. I just think that we kind of like you know, mellowed down a little bit on it too as we go over. In terms of like if you're watching PokeTubers for me, like I'll make a double switch, I'll be like, yeah, that's a little taste, but like I'm not like going crazy over it because like that's just every day right now. But I agree. We have a lot more. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm just drinking. I'm not sorry, I'm drinking. I need to drink something to survive. That's it. But I do agree that it kind of lost a lot of its. I mean, I like that they made the bad moves good and competitive, but why'd they even make teleport like that? That had to be for singles. Who the hell did that? That had to be for singles. Yeah. Serperior needs more coverage now that hidden power is gone once it returns. What does it have? Nature power and Leaf Storm? Dragon Pulse? What is with these grass types and getting terrible moves? They don't even give a Focus Blast, and they gave Sceptile Focus Blast. Like, did they know they were going to give it Contrary right now? They definitely knew. It was a Dream World ability back in the day. But, yeah, I feel like, what could they actually give Serperior that would make it non-busty? They couldn't give it Mystical Fire. Shoot, maybe like random Shockwave. It's a banana. It's a fluid, whatever. I was on Ron's video. He called it a fluid. I was on the Earl of Bananas or something like that. It's a banana, basically. Give it some, like, at least something minimal like Shockwave. But I don't think they could give it Earth Power. I think that's a little bit too much for the snake. Then again, no. Hold up. They could definitely give it, like, even Sludge Wave at least. Give it something, man. Arbok and all the other snakes, they all have, like Seviper, have like such cool coverage. And then Serperior is nothing. The Gale Wings nerf was unnecessary. Also bring back gems. I want Flying Gem Acrobatics back. I think the Gale Wing nerf made a lot of sense because in VGC, Talonflame was tearing it up. I think they nerfed it a little bit too much. It should be anything over 50% gives you Gale Wings because Talonflame is useless with Gale Wings if it's not at 100%. It's stupid. It's completely stupid. It's like the whole Dark Void nerf they did. All they do is make it that only Darkrai can have it, which they did. But then they decided to make, oh, let's make it 50% accurate too. Why? Why'd you do that to Darkrai? What did he do to you? People weren't even copying him. They're probably Pika hexing their mon in. Like, Darkrai did nothing. It was... Anyway. But, yeah, above 50%, Gale Wings should still work. Priority. Anything above 50%, I think. I don't think Gems should come back. I mean, we basically have Gems and Dynamax moves, right? And Z moves and stuff like that. I don't think we need Gems back. Probably be better if Namco Bandai developed the main games after Sword and Shield. I don't know, man. There's a lot of Bandai games that I don't like the story of. Personally. I mean, I do think that if they weren't rushed in what they had to do yearly and, like, you know, had to meet deadlines and stuff like that, I do think we could have a really good game. I do feel like there's so much potential behind it. I mean, they're the biggest gaming franchise. Why are the games not, you know, always up to par or anything? I know that's like the general feel as well of it. But I feel like if they had more time, they could do it. I don't know. The Pokemon franchise would not be anywhere near as successful if it started today. So this isn't really a hot take. This is more like facts. Because, yeah, if a new franchise started today, it wouldn't have the whole fan base and everything immediately behind it, obviously, right? It would just have started today and it would need time. But I understand what you were trying to say here. I do think, though, that if it did start out today, it would still have its niche. I think that, you know, the catching monsters and stuff is really cool. I wonder if, like, if Pokemon started today, but Digimon was still back in there, if, like, the West would have adopted it more, and that would have been, like, something we play and care so much about, like, the competitive side of that. If X-Spore is actually a good ability, just not give it to a Pokemon that can actually use it properly, besides Vileplume. Vileplume is great with it because it has Strength Sap and whatnot, and I think that's decent as well. I mean... Breloom, why would Breloom use X-Spore when it can use Poison Heal, you know? Or Technician, rather. It is a really good ability. I mean, if we know anything about abilities like Static and Flame Body, we know they're the bane of OU, right? How many times have you turned down a Moltres and got burnt? Or you turned down a Zapdos and got paralyzed? So X-Spore would be great on that. Game Freak hates dolphins. I just want a dolphin Pokemon. Tapu Fini is not a dolphin. Tapu Fini is not a dolphin. Look at Tapu Fini. Look at Tapu Fini. That ain't no dolphin just because you got a little horn. This is not a dolphin. Give me a dolphin. It's a land spirit Pokemon, bro. That's not no dolphin. Give me a dolphin. I don't know why they hate dolphins. This dude left a lot of comments. Now, Venture is one of the best names for a Pokemon of all time. Because like Galvanize and Tarantula and stuff like that. I love Galvantula. I wish it was. I actually wish Galvantula was like some random number like 386 speed. I really think that, especially with heavy duty boots. Oh my god, give it, or like 381 like Rabombi or anything like that. Give it something like that. I feel like that would be so much for a Galvantula. Because then Thunders and Energy Balls, it would make it better. It wouldn't push it over the edge because even with Energy Ball, it still struggles versus ground types regardless because all of them are really bulky. Gorilla Tactics should have been banned before Galarian or Mantan. Yeah, blah blah blah. Complex bans. Oh, if I make a team in OU and I press OU right here and I click validate, it tells me exactly why I can't use it. You could have done that with Galarian, man, but whatever. I guess we can't understand that because complex bans. Dominant Pro contests were fun to do. Yo, contests in general were hella fun. Even like going back to like Ruby and Sapphire, I loved doing the contests though. I'm actually really excited for Diamond Pro remakes to come out this year. Hopefully, which they hopefully do. Give Weavile Technician. So I think either Technician or Clef Claws would be really cool. Weavile doesn't really have abilities that it uses. Pressure, Pickpocket, whatever. Like, they don't really do much for Weavile itself. I think that Technician would be ridiculous though, because with Triple Axle it would be absolutely broken, especially on Choice Band or Life Orb. Like, you were not switching that thing into anything. But even Tough Claws I think would be pretty crazy. I mean, it has, don't you need the Claw to evolve it? The Razor Claw? Razor Fang is Gliscor, right? So yeah, Razor Claw to evolve Sneasel into that. It has Claw. Give it some Tough Claws. Metagross is criminally underrated and deserves more usage. Also, there's literally no reason it shouldn't get Psychic Fangs. Metagross Fangs. It has fangs, doesn't it? I know it has fangs. I've seen it. I swear I've seen a picture of it open up its mouth and whatnot. Yeah, right here. Right here. It has little fangs when it opens up the mouth. Yeah, I think it should get Psychic Fangs. I honestly think it should have got Close Combat too. They gave Close Combat to a lot of mons that came back this generation. Why not give it to Metagross? But they give it Body Press, and plus it has Iron Defense, so I'm really happy about that. I think it should have Psychic Fangs as well. It's kind of disappointing that when you use setup on it, you have to, resort to Zen Headbutt. Drawback being you can miss. These Psychic Fangs can break screens and can't miss. I love to see more moves like Freeze Dry that hit Pokemon that normally resist it for super effective damage, like a Poison move that hit Steel types super effectively, or a Water move that hit Grass types super effectively. Agreed. I like the idea of, like, at least in terms of a Water move that could hit Grass types super effectively, you could call it like Bubble Acid or something like that. So like it would be Bubbles and then Acid, so it'd be a Water type attack, but because it's Acid, it wears down or whatever. In terms of Steel, a Poison type attack to hit Steel type, I mean, we have Corrosive Gas, but it doesn't hit them super effectively. It just gets rid of their item, which I think is really cool, regardless. But I think Corrosion as well. Obviously we always talk about this whenever this subject comes out. Corrosion, Salazzle's ability should allow it to hit Poison types, Steel types with Poison type attacks, like Sludge Bomb and stuff, not just Toxic. We should get sequels instead of remakes. Also, Pokemon should not be a yearly release, so the games can be better. I like sequels. Black and White 2, one of my favorite games of all time, obviously. Nice sequel to Black and White 1. Wasn't exactly the same. Still had, obviously, it's still the same area, but it was years later. And it did good. It did good for it, in my opinion. It added Pokemon as well. I also agree. I said what I said before, that Pokemon should not be yearly either. Obviously, as a content creator, that would kind of suck to not have it. But, I mean, look at Oras when that came out and everything. I feel like we had Oras for like 2 years. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like, because I remember that 1 year nothing came out, so we did Heat of Hita. So I feel like they did. Mon should take Spike's damage when they roost. I love it. I love it. I love it. If a bird is roosting, if they're coming down to roost, right? If they're healing themselves, you are touching the ground. You are touching the ground. You should definitely be taking some Spike's damage. Talk to them, JC. Talk to them. Say it louder. The people in the back. Dynamax was a hilariously broken mistake. Give me back my Megas. I think out of Dynamax, Z-Moves, and Megas, Megas were the best, right? They gave Pokemon, they gave popular Pokemon even more popularity, but they gave Pokemon that had like no competitive viability or very little competitive viability. Beedrill, Mawile, I was about to say Audino, but no, go back to your ball. They gave Pokemon like actual purpose, and I also felt like they weren't considered the same Pokemon, right? Mawile was only a Mawile for maybe the Intimidate or the Hyper Cutter, and then after that you just Mega Evolve when you needed to, because Mega Mawile, huge power, oof, wild. I feel like we're at the point where like Megas were around for so long that since 2003, I believe 2003, 2013. Did I say 2003? 2013. So Megas were around for so long that at this point I feel like they're their own Pokemon. They're their own personality. So it feels really weird to not have them. Though I understand how busted they would be with Dynamax. I don't like Dynamax at all as a mechanic. I think it's stupidly broken in 6v6 singles. It's also stupid broken in 3v3 battle stadium. And I can give you two Pokemon that just come to mind that make it really broken: Cinderace and Zapdos. And then obviously any Moximon, any Max Airstream Pokemon abusing Mon that could do it. Shoot, even Rillaboom, pretty nasty with it too. And then obviously, you know, I don't like Z moves much either. Though they did give weaker Pokemon chances to shine too, so they're okay. Pokemon are fundamentally less interesting as 3D models compared to sprites. I actually wish we never moved from sprites. I really think that sprites had a lot of charm. And as somebody who started playing, you know, Pokemon Red when it came out in the US, so years ago, it was so cool to see how the sprites evolved, right? You had the back of Charmeleon looking like a Dragonite. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you. Charmeleon back sprite, Pokemon Red. Let me see if I can find this for y'all. Do they have the back sprite here? I mean, it doesn't look that bad here, but I'm gonna see if I can find the back sprite, because back sprite was something else, man. Like, look at this. I can barely see that. But look at this, bro. Look at him on chat. Like, man, that's not the back sprite. Oh, here it is. Here's my Charmeleon, aka Dragonite. This is literally Dragonite. But I loved it, and to see them evolve over time and, you know, get better and better, I really think they were really cool. I was actually really so when we first got like models and everything, I was really turned off by Black and White when I first played it, right? Just the way everything looked, I was like, what the hell? Why y'all look like this? I understand I gave them personality, and as they kept going, obviously got a little bit better. But now we have people complaining about graphics too, which, I mean, at this point, I don't think Game Freak will ever make a game that looks better than, like, in terms of Pokemon graphics, that looks better than, you know, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I think they did the game, the mods look great in it, and I don't think we'll ever go past that. But I really do miss the sprites. I just think there was so much charm to the sprites, and, you know, I see why, you know, being able to see one of your favorite Pokemon look at you and react to you obviously is really cool too. But man, the sprite, this is just the old head in me talking though. Maybe an unpopular opinion. Cupmons carry the Pokemon franchise. I mean, you got Pikachu and Eevee on a damn Switch game. You got Pikachu as the mascot, which is great anyway. Yeah, shoot. But I mean, they don't completely carry the franchise. Some of the most popular Pokemon like Charizard and Greninja, and they ain't cute. Maybe. Maybe to the right person. I want to see Mega Evolution return, not Dynamax. 100%, man. I'm trying to see Mega Evolutions come back. I don't know if it's going to be DP Remix or Gen 9, or are we in Gen 8, right? Gen 9 or whatever's happening, but I'm trying to see it come back too. Not giving Zamazenta body press was an absolute crime that held it back so much. Yeah, I don't understand why they gave Zacian +1 attack and then every move in the game, and then Zamazenta, the damn shield Pokemon, not King Shield and not body press. Why would the, like, it'd be so much better if it had King Shield, like, so it could actually defend against and obviously lower your attack as well, but also just body press to use that defense, man. Like, why would you not? It'd be so much better. Ban Dynamax in random battles. I'm one of the people who voted to keep Dynamax in random bats, but I do think that they should have made it like Ubers used to, where they banned Dynamax on Uber Pokemon instead of just, you know, every Pokemon. But, like, for example, if an Uber is Necrozma Dusk main, that's probably the mon that needs Dynamax banned the most on it. It won't be able to Dynamax and Rambat, but like a mon like Butterfree would be. And my argument for not banning it was, yeah, it might make the Pokemon, the people with the Ubers, stronger, right? When the cross just made, it might make them even harder to beat and take less skill, but it also means me fighting back on my Crustle, I might actually have a chance because I can Dynamax it. That's why I personally believe it. It's random battles at the end of the day, so we have yet to see the best of what Pokemon can offer. I agree. I mean, I mentioned it before. Timing really needs to be put into the game. I do think that a lot of us are just gonna buy the game no matter what. Which, I mean, I love Pokemon on like on a personal level. Right? I love Pokemon, right? Like that's something that I'll probably keep supporting unless they do something absolutely terrible. So I'll buy the game and I'll enjoy it and I'll play it like it's like I don't. How do I say it? I'm not a person that's gonna be upset about a tree in a game, right? Just to say, I'm not calling out anybody, but I'm not gonna be upset about a tree in a game if I just get to play in a new region and enjoy myself. That's me personally. Again, I'm very easily entertained when it comes to that. Yo, I didn't even read this one. Pokemon franchising games would be so much better if people didn't buy every single item they put out due to nostalgic attachment. I mean, that's me, unfortunately, right? Like that's just how I am. I grew up. I played the game when I was 3. I was watching the show when I was 3. And I've been playing it ever since. Now I think I just turned 27. So it's just 1993, 2021. Yeah, I'm sorry. After I turned like 18, I just forgot my age a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. If there wasn't as much support, obviously the games would be better. But you could also argue that if there wasn't as much support, it could just die out as a series as well, right? If there's not anyone buying, it could just disappear. Then again, I don't think that can happen with Pokemon. I'm superior to my homies because they watch pokeaimMD, but I watch pokeaim. Hey, that's my sister. Don't be talking about. That's my legitimate biological sister. Don't be talking about her like that. And that's also a damn lie. I can't believe I just got on this video and just lied to y'all. A funny story. I actually discovered pokeaimMD when I was so I had my contacts off one night. It was late, and I was this sounds like a really bad story. Like I was looking up some stuff I shouldn't have been. Nah, I was on YouTube, and I was trying to look at my channel. So I was typing pokeaim, but I guess because I was like I didn't have my contacts on, and I missed I was typing pokeaim. I guess pokeaimMD came out, and I was like, oh. This person has like a similar name to me. We call him Blunder because he makes mistakes. If he played perfectly when they call him pokeaim, hey, I definitely make mistakes too. I'll admit it. Glacier is underrated and should be higher than RU. I think that if it got Trick Room like its Calyrex form, it'd be ridiculous. Like it's an incredible Trick Room user. It has amazing bulk, amazing HP. Heavy duty boots is a godsend for it. Great moveset. Speed's just not doing it for it. But then again, you go over to VGC and that mine's tearing it up. So bug types are way cooler than most casual players perceive them. I think bug types are incredible. They're not my favorite typing. My favorite typing are water and dragon. But I mean, Pokemon started because the dude loved bugs and wanted to collect bugs. So that's the whole reason Pokemon started. And I think bug types are super cool. I think they're super cool. And I love looking at the lore behind them. And I don't know. I really love bug types. I think Scizor is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. I think Scyther is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. I think Mega Scizor one of the coolest Megas ever too. That look great, man. That's a whole line. Golisopod, fire. Volcarona, fire. Literally, like bug types are sick. I think the reason most casual players perceive them as maybe not cool is because they're generally early route Pokemon. So like, if I got my bug type early route, yeah, shoot, I got my level 10 Butterfree, but I mean, look at the end of the game, I catch Mewtwo type of thing, So maybe if bug types were like more later in the game and didn't actually evolve as early. Now, I'm not talking about to the levels of Pokemon Black and White, because the worst part about that game, the worst part about Pokemon Black and White is the fact that every mon evolves at level 100. That is the worst part. You telling me I gotta take this Pawniard all the way to level 96 to evolve it into Bisharp. I'm obviously exaggerating, but not really. Like they all evolve at like level 50 plus. Hydreigon's level 64, bro. I think freaking Braviary's baby, Rufflet, evolves what, level 54, 52? Like what are you doing? What are you doing? Evolve. Manshell is a top tier threat that no one cares about when they really should. Archosaur with Slush Art is hell and dangerous. Instead of properly can very easy. Team Cyber is better than Scizor with the addition of Dual Wing Bait. Manshell is a top tier threat that no one really cares about. That's NU right now, but it's definitely being super used in RU. I think it's fantastic. I think that close combat is amazing for it being spammable. Archosaur with Slush Rush and Hail is dangerous. I agree. Though it depends on the team makeup, but it's Bolt Beacon. I mean, it's Bolt Beam. It's great. Scyther is better than Scizor with the addition of Dual Wing Beat. I don't agree with that. I think that Scizor's Bullet Punch is always going to be better than Dual Wing Beat on a Scyther. However, the speed tier and heavy duty boots do a lot for it. But I always miss the Violet. I think it's just Scizor's too good. My boy has one weakness. Right? Like, it's too good. Pokemon Let's Go is visually 100% better than Sword and Shield. I agree. I don't disagree at all. I think Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was very cute the way it was. I think the main thing going for it is like I like the way that the outer sprites was. I don't know why they got rid of like some of that until later on, and they didn't even do it well in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like freaking I'm just remembering that Shofu thing where the Dragapult's like dragging behind it and teleporting. But I do think that Let's Go had a lot of charm to how it looked. And I know I'll probably get flack for it, but Let's Go is probably one of my top 3 game playing experiences. The immersion and everything for it as well did so much for me. Like the fact that the Pokemon are in the overworld sprite, in the overworld, and I can catch them, it just was a game changer in my opinion. Top 3 in terms of me playing through it. And I've been to Kanto every single time we've gone to Kanto, which is like probably 10 times, 12 times at this point that we've gone to Kanto. And it still felt good to be able to play that. Again, that's my personal opinion. But I think just the overworld type of thing was great. But I agree. I think it's, I don't know if 100% better. I just think it, visually, I just loved it a lot more. There should be an easier to use speed boosting item. Are you referring to running shoes or like choice scarf? Oh, adrenaline orb. Okay, they're referring to the adrenaline. Okay, it took me a second, but so the adrenaline orb, when you get like intimidate or whatever, you get the speed boost and whatnot, which I think is really cool. But obviously it's pretty niche because it comes to intimidate. If you go to OU, you'll see Landorus, but a lot of intimidates in lower tiers aren't always there. Maybe Incineroar, but and obviously in VGC, Incineroar and Landorus are Pokemon you'd probably see all the time. But yeah, I can see that. Maybe or you're also thinking what blunder policy as well. Blunder policy has to do with missing too. And the thing about blunder policy is sometimes you don't want to miss, sometimes you do. And then if you missed already and your blunder policy is activated, you're pretty much forced to use it at that point, right? So what would you do? Maybe maybe make it like a Mega Stone or a Dynamax item where you're allowed to use it one time. I think that might be cheating like a Quick Claw though. Maybe it'd be too much because speed is very, very important in Pokemon, right? The ability to move first is crazy. And we see so many different teams compositions with it, right? You have Tailwind, you have Trick Room, and obviously, like I said, Adrenaline Orb, the Blunder Policy. I don't even know if there's a fair way to make it. It's time for Moveset to retire, bro. Let him do what he wants. Trade evolutions are worse than microtransactions. Oh my god. Thank you, Alex. As a kid, man, it's not even that I didn't have friends. I did have friends, but like, I didn't have a link cable. I just want to say that Diamond and Pearl. Let me give one of my hot takes. I love Diamond and Pearl. DVP, my favorite gen competitively. It is my favorite gen competitively, and I am a little bit worried about a remake happening. I'll go back to this trade thing in a second. I'm a little bit worried about a remake happening. Why? Because I don't think you can ruin the game. I don't think there's any way to ruin the story or whatever. The story is going to be the story, right? It's just going to look better. Whatever. And if you like it, you liked it. If you don't, you didn't. That's fine. But one of the biggest inclusions of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was the fact that, and I might make another video on this if I talk about it whenever we get the official announcement, probably in February, like the end of it. But the fact that it was the first time ever I could connect to my friend over Wi-Fi. I could connect to anybody, right, and battle. And this brought this wave of YouTubers on YouTube, and I was one of them. I started way back in the day, right? I uploaded my first video in 2010. And it brought so many people, it inspired so many people. And it's what started competitive Pokemon. What you're watching today started because of Diamond and Pearl on YouTube, right? You have like MBZ and MTG Xerxes and the Shadow Project, and I mean, even you got other people before them as well. There's a lot of people. I didn't name everybody, obviously. I could be here all day talking about that. But I'm really not as excited, or I'm a little worried, because what if we have that stupid crappy timer that we have now and we can't enjoy the game that the way that we want to, right? We should be able to play the game the way that we want to. That's the biggest thing. Why are they limiting the way we can play for battle? And this is a whole bring back timer thing or whatever, but yeah. Anyway, going back to Trade Evolution. Sorry about that, Alex. You kind of just like reminded me about that, but yeah. Trade Evolutions are terrible. I always hated that. I didn't even know that, like, how to get Gigalith back in Pokemon Black and White, and I could trade with my friends at that point. I didn't even know that you had to trade Evolve for it. I couldn't have a Golem back in the day, man. I couldn't have a Machamp back in the day and stuff like that. Well, in Pokemon Yellow, I believe I could have a Machamp, but I think somebody traded me a Machoke in Pokemon Yellow. I don't remember. It's been so long since I played it. But for like a Nidoran, was there a girl someplace? Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I couldn't have like a Golem and stuff like that. It's so whack. I don't like Trade Evolutions. I know that the encouragement was you can play with your friends, but come on, man. At that point, there should be an option to be like, you want to evolve it now? And like, hey, do you have friends? Or like something, I don't know. Something in like the help options that says turn Trade Evolutions off. Please. No, everyone's getting OU. You're gonna have to convince me on that, buddy. We got, I mean, Dragon and Flying is good coverage, but why use that when I got Dragapult or Dragonite? It's crazy to think that Pokemon Stadium, Coliseum, XD, and Revolution were never remade or rebooted in some sort of way. I also agree. I do think that, though, with the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, we may be seeing some sort of like Nintendo Wii, like for the Switch. So there may be a way to, they may just port those over, which at the end of the day would just be a port, right, to be able to play those. But I feel like we would see something like that. Coliseum and XD, I enjoyed the games. I liked the gameplay better in Coliseum. I liked the way the Pokemon looked, and the moves looked better in XD Gale and Darkness. Stadium was obviously a fantastic game, and the minigames are great. Pokemon Battle Revolution, also another really inspiring thing for YouTubers like myself. Shout out to Zero Yarko and Yuyutun and everybody from back in the day. And Giga Titan. A lot of people like that. Heavy Duty Boots, it's about time. We need some type of remake. I think Shadow Pokemon are so cool too. How are you going to put them in Pokemon Go, but not give us something? Like, you can't just tease us like that. Give us something like that now, man. And plus, my favorite part about the Shadow Pokemon was that they had moves that they couldn't normally have, right? So that's how we got like Baton Pass on Zapdos, for instance. So like, I really wish we could get things like that again. Heavy Duty Boots is one of the greatest additions to the Pokemon metagame in the last decade. People that think Heavy Duty Boots is broken and that Stealth Rock is healthy, even though it's a Pokemon invalidating super move, have small brain. I also do think that it's crazy how much Hazards has played a role in what we think and what we do. You could argue that in Gen 3 spikes were broken. I don't think you could argue it too much in Gen 2 just because it's one little layer. And the Rapid Spinners aren't terrible either. But yeah, it definitely is Stealth Rock that makes us think that Heavy Duty Boots are broken. But I think the problem is that, you know, Heavy Duty Boots on Pokemon weak to Stealth Rock are great, right? They're godsend, right? Look at Moltres in OU, right? Tearing it up. It's a freaking Moltres in OU. That's awesome. What did you think you see at Moltres in the OU tier? Let's have like a Mega or something that got rid of its typing. Like Charizard. Remember we got Charizard X, Charizard Y. You didn't think you'd ever see that until we got those. But and Boots on them are great. But when they start using Boots on Regenerator mods, when they start using Boots on Pokemon that are fast, and the way that we tear them down is through hazards, that's when it gets to us. But like, what it really is, we wouldn't be thinking this if Stealth Rock wasn't a thing, right? This would be normal. This would be normal. Heavy Duty Boots wouldn't exist. This would be normal. So it is definitely Stealth Rock. That's the problem. Why doesn't Garchomp learn Dragon Dance already? I already said it before, but I think Swords Dance Scale Shot way better than Dragon Dance. Just because I get 2 boosts and I get the speed on top of it. Godsend. I don't think it needs Dragon Dance. But it's also Dragon, so why not? Pokemon Red, Blue, Gold, and Silver haven't aged well, and the only reason some Pokemon fans rank them as the best is because of nostalgia. I think for their time, Pokemon Red and Blue are fine. But I agree, maybe they haven't aged the best. Gold and Silver, one of the biggest problems with it was the levels. You would have people being level 20 at like the 7th gym. Like, what's going on? Why are you level 20? So that should have been different. I think Kanto could have been a lot more. However, Pokemon Gold is still my favorite game of all time. And the differences between that and the first game were just like awesome to see as someone who grew up with it, and just see the game come farther and farther. It was like awesome. Like the day and night, and like the eggs and all that stuff. I loved it, and even being able to visit it. So definitely nostalgia is hitting me hard for that, and I won't deny it. But I do think that comparing the two together, Gold and Silver did crazy compared to it, right? But yeah, we definitely ranked them high because of nostalgia. Bug types are pretty freaking tight, not gonna lie. I agree with you. We already went over that. A nerve should stop the consumption of all items, not just berries. Facts, man. Facts. Why can you eat leftovers if you can't eat a berry? How can you eat half a berry or half an apple if you can't eat the whole berry? A nerve would be such a great ability on Pokemon, man. That, like, it'd be such a good ability. I mean, a nerve is good, obviously, in VGC because a lot of people would use berries in it, like, you know, the Iapop berry, stuff like that, citrus berry or whatever. Obviously, they nerfed the super citrus berries and stuff like that, but either way, I think that'd be that's a great addition, and that's a great buff. They already buffed Scrappy and stuff. Why don't they, you know, they made it block Intimidate. Why don't you just make a nerve block items? Mammals are overrepresented in Pokemon. I honestly think they're not. So a lot of and I learned this because of Ron, but hey guys, Ron here. I learned this because of Ron, but a lot of the Pokemon we have, I mean, look at Black and White. We have ice cream cones. We have, we have, going to Gen 6, we have keys. I think we have a good mix of everything. I really do, personally. Gen 1 competitive was not competitive. You just need to sleep the biggest threat on your team side, basically KO most of the time Tauros, and then you can sweep your own threat. I think there's a lot of old heads that would hate this, and honestly, their ability to do well would probably speak against this. I'm never going to touch that. I think Gen 1 actually has a pretty good competitive scene. I like watching it, and I like the random crits as well behind it, too. I have just one name, Absol. As always, Lord Envy predicted the future. I don't... Wait. What is this? How is the hot take? Okay. The Pokemon TCG has taken a huge nosedive since the introduction of new mechanics. I mean, if you're going to say anything about the Pokemon TCG has taken a friggin'... It's taken my wallet ever since... was it Jake Paul? Was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I don't know. The one that's not as bad... Is that even a good way to say it? The one that did Pokemon, man. So I don't keep up with the TCG. I played a little bit of it before. I think Pokemon cards are some of the most beautiful cards out there. I think the artwork is amazing and should be praised. However, I don't know about the mechanics behind them, but I'm assuming if we got Dynamax, I'm assuming you guys got something crazy too, like rip your card in half, draw 2 cards, pot of greed, I don't know. Every region should have every starter available in the game somehow, whether it's through a Mystery Gift in the wild or a transfer. I honestly think it's a crime that Gen 8 removes so many of the starter Pokemon. Yeah. I'm sure, I'm sure they planned DLC from the start and they just want things to be in brackets, but I think a lot of that had to do with, I mean, they say, not enough time and stuff like that. I think it's less about that and more so they might actually start caring about, I think they care a little bit more now about the VGC side of things than they did way back in the day. Obviously, look at the final gym leader. That's like a crazy up for Pokemon. Look at what they've been doing in terms of the quality of life stuff that they've been updating with it, right? So I actually think it was more so just a competitive side thing where they decided to do this. I think that's the real reason. It was for the competitive, for the VGC side, that they decided, hey, we're going to keep this and this and this out just for now, just so you can have a VGC meta this way, and this way, and then we'll bring it back with that. And obviously, there's a whole cash thing behind it too. Though, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I care for... I don't know. I still not currently do I like DLC more than I like buying the game and playing through it again? Because I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so little things that Platinum changed from Diamond and Pearl. Very little story things. There are some things obviously, and there were quality of life things like speed up and stuff. But very little things that Emerald changed from Ruby Sapphire, Battle Frontier, stuff like that too. But would I have cared for that as DLC to have the longevity behind the game itself? But yeah, that's my thought on that. When they bring Megas back, they should make the designs of the Mons and Gigantamax their Megas. Interesting. I mean, I love the way Charizard's Gigantamax looks. Wait, does that mean they're also going to be like... Are you trying to give Cinderace and Rillaboom? Oh, never mind. No. 95% is basically 50% facts, bro. If your move has a 95% chance and I'm missing that, every 2 battles, that's just fake. Holding games are my least favorite games. X and Y are underrated. I do think X and Y is underrated. I think X and Y, at least for what it did for the community as well, is super underrated. Holding games are my least favorite games. I think at the time, Ruby Sapphire Emerald were fine. I don't think they aged as well, personally. They're really easy to play through, though. Again, they're like Gen 1 and Gen 2. They're just really easy. Signal Beam should be added into the game. I'm not sure why it's out. I don't understand why it's out at all. I don't understand, I know Pursuit... It's probably a mechanic thing because every single generation they mess up Pursuit somehow on Wi-Fi or something, and I know the whole mechanic between Pursuit and Dynamax might have been something that threw them off. They just said, screw it, we're not doing it this generation. I have no idea why Signal Beam is in the game. Get my boy Gengar Levitate, they had no reason to take it. So I guess that would affect more VGC than it would singles. I personally think that Gengar having Cursed Body, and I always say this, I think that Gengar having Cursed Body has been a blessing for it. An offensive Pokemon that absorbs T-Spike, awesome. In a metagame where Toxapex is beautiful. Not only that, but Cursed Body is incredibly game-changing. I've lost games to Cursed Body, or I've been able to set up a Pokemon because of Cursed Body, or things like that. There's a tournament game in SPL where my buddy Anti, Kratos Mana, played somebody with a Pheromosa. The Pheromosa could have Ice Beam swept twice, but it kept getting Cursed Body, so it wasn't able to. And there's another one that the fact that... What was it? Oh yeah, the ground types. They all beat Gengar anyway. Excadrill has Iron Head or has Mold Breaker. Landorus has knockoff or Stone Edge, which do a ton. Knockoff KOs at Stone Edge do like 80%. Garchomp can just scale shot or do whatever it wants. Hippo whirlwinds you out. You know, it's like the ground types don't really care about Gengar anyway. I feel like it's just one thing is if Scarf Landorus is locked in the EQ, yeah, you can bring it in. That's about it. RNG is too much of a factor in competitive. And in regular Pokemon terms, I would say Pokemon gotten so big it messes up the game future and quality. As investors and corporate owners force Pokemon on a schedule, this causes less development time for game fruit to constrain. Huh. Oh, okay. I kind of like read that wrong. RNG is too much of a factor in competitive. Stop. That's their first opinion. And in regular Pokemon terms, I would say Pokemon's gotten too big. It messes up the game future and quality. As investors and corporate owners force Pokemon to be on schedule, this causes less development time for game fruit to constrain. That's fair. Why don't you just hire more people, though? Hey, bro, you got all this money. Just hire 10 million people. That's it. I want all of them working on it. Add me into the game, too. We got blunder policy. I need aim policy. 100% chance to hit, 100% chance to crit, and say just a little taste after you do it. I do think RNG is a huge factor in competitive Pokemon, but I also think it'd be incredibly boring if we didn't have that. I would hate to see Calmine Suicune versus Calmine Suicune or Calmine Clefable versus Calmine Clefable have to take 70 turns because it has to stall itself out and struggle. Draft videos are the best videos to download and listen to while running. Hey man, to each their own, whatever floats your boat. Hot take, Serena wishes it was Lilligant. You think Serena should quiver dance? Or are you thinking more so about VGC, like some after you type stuff? I feel like Serena, I think that bug type should have some sort of, like, you know, spiderweb, it traps you, but like something like, Serena's not a bug type, excuse me, but, even grass types, yeah, grass types need some sort of, I feel like every single typing should have some way of setting up, right? So, you know, we have shift gear for steel types, you know, rock polish and autotomize as well, and things like that for other typings too. And then we have Dragon Dance, and we have Quiver Dance, and I need the Grass type, bro. I need the Grass type equivalent for Serena. It needs like a physical speed boosting plus like that. I wish Triple Axle rose your speed and attack at the same time. That'd be broken though. More Pokemon should be able to set up terrain and weather. Maybe some older Pokemon who need some buffs. Yeah, dude, buff all the Gen 1 through 4. Power creep has not left them happy, man. At least Gen 1 through 3 specifically need buffs. I'm really glad they gave Pelipper, and when they gave Ninetales and Politoed stuff, that was great. Shoot, give Quillfish the ability to give him Fernape Drought, please. That would be probably one of the greatest weather starters of all time, next to like Tyranitar. Just the Pokemon that U-turns has offensive sides on both, right? Attack and defense, and just has just good stab. Man, it's beautiful. Match is really good on some teams. You gotta convince me a little bit more, Toasted, on that, bro. Heavy duty boots shouldn't go on Pokemon more or less than 2 feet. Hey, hold up. I gotta find this one. So you telling me my man Centiscore shouldn't have Tims? I gotta find the image, man. I know I tweeted it like 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago, obviously, earlier, last year. Or actually, no, it was a year before. Centiscorch. I'll see if I can find this. Tims. Centiscorch. Heavy duty boots. I gotta find this, man. Because that image is so funny. You trying to tell me we can't do it? I can't find it. I unfortunately cannot find it. But you trying to tell me you trying to rob Shedinja of this? You trying to rob Shedinja? I'm from New York too. You trying to rob my Shedinja of Tim's? Nah, you tripping, bro. Nah, but more or less than 2 feet. I mean, I can see it, sure. Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour don't suck. A count. Have you ever used Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour? Nah, they. If you're gonna give drought and stuff to anything, and drizzle, and what would the grass types have? Grassy terrain to anything, right? Give it to these guys, man. They need something. I think they suck. Personally, that Chara and Crustle would work well in double Sun Team. Only come up with today, and I'll be able to test. But Flower Gift from Chara and Solar Bit for Crustle seems good on paper. Seems fun. Staraptor is the coolest flying type. It's a shame there isn't a Gen 4 remake yet. Hey, bro, it's coming out. I also think Staraptor is powerful and sick. And that's the BL knife forever. Event Pokemon are killing the fun of catching them all for everyone who starts the game after the event. In my opinion, I don't think event Pokemon should be just downloadable. I think you should be able to download events and actually do them. You know, like back in the day where you had to actually go to an island or do a puzzle and activate some sort of thing. I think every single event Pokemon I feel like should be a quest, right? It should be something. It should be like free DLC into the game, right? Where you can actually do something to obtain it. Make it feel like more fun. Don't be like I have to be there to do it, right? Everyone starts to get after the event. Brave Browser had no reason to stop the sponsorship program. What did I say? They gave out 13 million. Oh, shoot. Bro, they gave out... Yeah, Brave Browser, their sponsorship program, this has nothing to do with Pokemon. But I guess because Blunder does it, or did it. Yeah, they originally had to decide to only give out $1 million, and they gave out $13 million. Hear me out. Make Onix still like something like Scyther and Scizor. Like, give Onix more speed and more attack than Oddish because it got DD and has Head Smash. Yes, I agree. I'm telling you, rework the Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 mods. They need stats to compete with current Pokemon. They cannot compete. They need the stats. Why is Onix like as strong as a Pidgey, right? Why does Oddish have more attack than this? Onix is one of the coolest Pokemon from Gen 1 ever. You're not telling me anything. Onix was cool? Light Ball should be changed to double Pikachu's speed along with the attack and special attack. Jesus Christ. Showdown Monotype random battles laddering is complete BS. Yeah, dude. I mean, we're playing where it's basically a coin flip. If you have Mono Fire and they have Mono Water, you lost. Illumination actually have a use. Either increase accuracy or dark type moves that attack it are weakened. Agreed. Slacking's hidden ability should be defeatist. Damn. Bro, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I would rather Slacking have Truant than give it defeatist. I feel like, you know, there's just two... I don't know, man. I'm not really digging the defeatist on that. I don't like that ability at all, right? I feel bad for Archeops. I would rather give it no ability, man. Just take all of its ability. Take its home. Take its kid, you know? Just, you gotta leave Slacking with nothing. But defeatist, we don't gotta get this boy depressed for no reason. They should bring back Primal Groudon and give it Morning Sun and give it V-Create from a special event. Pokemon such as Wellard should be buffed more than a paltry 10-point stat boost to 1 or 2 areas. Dude, Wellard needs something. Wellard needs like Big Splash as a move or ability or something where its water moves are doubled in power just because when this thing is swimming, the water goes everywhere. Casper's Forecast should be able to see any weather on a switching. Ooh. Yo, what if they made it random too? No, not random, but like based on how many times you send it in. So the first time you send a cast form, it sends up sand. Second time you send it out, it sends up the rain. This is all just guaranteed, right? Third time is sun, and fourth time is hail. That'd be so fire. Imagine having a weather team with just a cast form. Fisher and Hornjo should have main TMs in later generations. Yeah, why not? I love them in game. Shoot, that cargo, that is super hot, around 1,000. Thank you for this hot take, Ralts. I appreciate you. Rack of Wooloo would taste delicious. Leatherback should learn Shift Gear so it can climb out of the depths of unviability and do something. Such a cool design, should not go to waste. But should Shift Gear work for it, or should it get like, should Electrolyze be like a move where the Mon charges itself up like actual charge, but actually charges up his speed too? Too many legendaries, too easy to get. Best thing ever was solving the puzzle of the Reggies. I mean, why'd I have to know Braille as a kid in order to do that? I do think events, like I said, are very cool and always worth it. And, like, I love them, but I shouldn't have had to have the book to know what I was doing. I don't want Gen 4 remakes until I believe Game Freak can do them right. And this kind of goes back to what I said, right? The remakes are going to be fine, right? Playing through the game is going to be fine. It's whatever. It's going to be a better looking Pokemon Platinum. I hope it's Pokemon Platinum and not Diamond and Pearl. Because Platinum did everything like better than Diamond and Pearl, in my opinion. Sorry with the speed. But, yeah, it just really, like, I don't know, man. I really hope that the Wi-Fi is going to be good. And it sucks because when Joe was talking about this, and I said, hopefully they bring back the timer in DV remakes, he actually responded and said that he thinks that if they do anything with the timer, because there was like some update, I was like, oh, hopefully there's a timer. He's like, no, if they do anything with the timer, it's probably going to be in Gen 9, which I believe sucks because, like, it's just a simple patch to do it. Why not? Just give us that. But yeah, we'll see. Infernape is the perfect Pokemon to ever exist. Fight me. I love Infernape. In fact, I think that Sword and Shield would have been perfect for it, honestly. Sword and Shield would have been perfect for it. But we'll get into DPP. Sure, having recently played through Crystal again, I feel like Pokemon games before Gen 4 just aren't worth playing. The physical special play is so integral to the game now, it's almost real baffling that so many Pokemon were unplayable before it. I do think that they need moveset upgrades like on everything, and I'm glad that a lot of Pokemon have gotten them over the years. Like even looking at Gen 2, like Sneasel had no moves to use, right? Gen 1, Gengar had no moves to use. That's why you had Explosion and all the Ice Punch and stuff like that, right? Shadow Ball was physical. Also, I don't think it existed. I don't remember if it existed in Gen 1. I think Nightshade was the only ghost move, and Lick, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. HM's considered lots of the adventures after the game, and their removal is part of the reason routes are so linear and boring now. Really? I just thought HMs and having to do stuff was tedious. And, you know, being able to ride on a Tauros to move it is really cool too. I just want to see how people reply to this one. I agree. I think a good balance would be to make HMs to be traits that can be taught to a Pokemon but don't take up a move slot. Ride Pokemon is stupid because you just get a random mother that you have zero connection to. I like the Tauros. I like the Tauros a lot. But I guess just walking down a route. Damn, I like the Tauros. I love Tauros. It's such a cool Pokemon. It's freaking Tauros. Shake that bull. But I guess the idea of just walking down a route and having to, Actually, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about, like, let's go back to Ruby and Sapphire, where you had to like do the puzzle with the strength and stuff. And I guess just walking down a route now and just battling a trainer isn't as exciting as that. Okay, I can see it. Making it traits on Pokemon is really cool too. By the way, not like making it a moveset. As the worst thing is when, you know, let's take Zigzagoon for example. That Zigzagoon was hard carrying my team, man. It was cutting. It was rock smashing, you know, I was doing what I had to do. It's just, so that's why when I took on the D4, I had like level 64 Blaziken. Like I had like a level 5 Zigzagoon just still chilling there, bro. In the Elite Four and still won. And it's proud of that too. And it bragged to its other Zigzagoon brethren that it beat the champion. And it actually did. It came in and I used it to potion up something else. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. I didn't really get it at first. Like I like the Tauros, but I understand what you're talking about. The idea of it being a trait instead of a moveset is very cool. Premier kind of good though. That's facts. But the pad is one of the hell of an underrated item. I think so too, especially in a metagame with Rocky Helmet and Flame Body and stuff like that. Except in the first 4 regions, because they already exist, there should be an orchestrated remastered soundtrack of all the games. Yes. Yes. Pokemon music is probably one of the best parts about Pokemon. It always hits. Pokemon should stop introducing gimmicks like Mega Evolution, Z moves, and Dynamax. Yes. Stop. Full stop. Yes. It gives the game too much inconsistency between releases. It's so hard to actually develop certain lower tier Pokemon to make them stronger when they focus on metagame defining mechanics that probably won't even be around in the next game. I agree. I think the best thing the Pokemon's ever done was the regional forms. It makes a lot of sense. It's what animals do in real life. So it makes a ton of sense that they're different regional forms because animals adapt. That is the best thing. It is not intrusive. It's not game changing. It's not ridiculous. And yeah. If anything, though, I do feel like Mega Evolution should still come back as their own thing. But, I mean, even then, Megas were... Yeah, I know how... I don't want to say oppressive, but... But the thing about Megas, they're Megas, so we can just ban the stones and we'd be good. Baby Pokemon were lazy designs and useless additions to the game. You don't like babies, bro? You don't like little Pichu? You don't like little Azuro? You don't like Magby? Alekid? Bro, you don't like Alekid? That's the plug, bro. I don't like this. Brian, I don't like this. Power Creep is eventually going to make competitive Pokemon 100% unplayable, and the only thing that can stop at this point is a massive overhaul and complete reboot of the series. I wonder how a complete reboot would do. I know there would be a lot of hate, though. I mean, look how it was when we couldn't get every Pokemon in this game. But I think that they just banned a lot of stuff. Right? That's the only thing. Like, I mean, the metagame we're playing, Smogon, right? For a lot of people here, the metagame we're playing, all they have to do is just ban things that are broken. But I don't always agree with that too. The speed stat is too strong. Woofy is the GOAT. Woofy is the GOAT. The speed stat is too strong. Facts. I mean, speed is everything. Make a video of you reacting to this? No. Yeah, I will. The refreshment we need for the meta is an item clause with an opportunity cost for the use of certain mons with certain items and encourages use of more obscure sets and items like that power Heatran set Joy doesn't care for. That's it. Sucks. That's it. Sucks. But I think an item clause would be really interesting. One of my favorite things about VGC is and even Battle Stadium singles is the fact that there is an item clause, so it forces you to use different things. However, if your thought process is that that'll make stall worse, I mean, I got my Black Sludge on Pex. I got my Heavy Duty Boots on Zapdos. Not necessarily Stallmons, but I got my Rocky Helmet on Ferrothorn. I got my leftovers on... I got my Shed Shell on Scarm. I got my leftovers on Quagsire. You know, I got my Violet on Chansey. It wouldn't make the big, or Heavy Duty Boots on Blissey. It wouldn't make the biggest difference, but I think it'd be really interesting. I do think that like it'd make a huge difference in terms of what we see, and it'd make it a lot more playable. I do think it'd be cool to see this. I don't know if they'd ever do this. I probably not, but I think that'd be really cool to get implemented in 66. Zubat can low-key be a threat. Dude, that thing be sweeping me in Rambats. I think Pursuit should come back. I think so too. They just need to stop giving us all these new things that they can't program with Pursuit, man. Just program it right. That's it. Zacian should have been Steel Fighting, and Zamazenta should have been Steel Fairy. I love Steel Fairy for defensive coverage and for offensive. Yeah, and they would have been able to give it Play Rough and stuff like that. Yeah, that would have been great. And Steel Fighting is amazing too. So I'm glad Hidden Power is gone. I hope they never bring it back. I do like that they gave a lot of things coverage moves. Which is really cool. Like a lot of the fairies and psychic types got like mystical fire. However, it really makes me sad for mons like, let's say Sceptile, for instance, doesn't have anything. Like, that coverage is really important. So I do hope we get like an overhaul in terms of like coverage. Or something like that. I want to see a normal ghost type with a death ability. Yo, calm down, bro. Yo, just go for Z conversion on your Porygon and you're good. I think the Weather Genies are cool, both forms included. Yes. The not safe review. SFW content is pretty good. Yeah, don't be looking. Yo, guys, if you're a Pokemon YouTuber and you gotta look up Pokemon, don't be looking up Gardevoir, Lopunny, and things like that, because you will find those that you would not want to see. Hydreigon deserves Sheer Force as a hidden ability. My board deserves to be extremely powerful, even if it ends up being broken. I mean, it's a really good to begin with. But I mean, I'm all for Pokemon having secondary abilities, especially Pokemon with Levitate and stuff. Like, let me decide if my Pokemon levitates. Stockpile needs a buff. Let's add it to more mons. Get rid of Swallow. It's late. Get rid of Swallow as a move and make Stockpile that every single time you use it, it heals 25% and it gives you a defense raise. What do you think about that? Passion Uber should exclude Arceus from species clause. Ooh. So you want the ability to use Arceus, Arceus Bug, Arceus Fire, Arceus Dark, Arceus Ghost, and Arceus Fighting on a team. I don't know if I care for that too much, but to follow up with that, I think that different forms of Pokemon should also be on different things too. I should be able to use a regular Sandslash and a Alolan Sandslash. They're totally different Pokemon. I should be able to use a Kyurem Black, and a Kyurem White all on the same team. Maybe that's a little bit too extreme, but I do think something like that would be interesting to think about. Naganadel was banned prematurely. Was it banned with Genesect? Yeah, at the time, I think that Naganadel was only overwhelming because of Genesect too. Probably crazy for saying that, but I think that Genesect was rightfully banned. I think that Naganadel could have waited a little bit too. Get Parasect Poison Heal and 60 extra HP. Yes, and yes. Pokemon creators don't care about the game nor the meta. They care about your wallet. I mean, obviously, it's a franchise, a money-making franchise. They want to make money. Correct, right? I do, however, think when it's not fair to say they don't care about the meta, when, especially in Sword and Shield specifically, and forget the damn singles metagame, right? We don't exist. We do exist, but we don't. Even though we're probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, or the most played. Who the hell is DMing me at 3:52 a.m.? Is there a thumbnail needed for tomorrow? Yes. The one I asked for. But, yeah. I do think that this is the, I don't know, I feel like they are not, like, my bad. I'm just trying to, like, paste this thumbnail to my buddy. But, yeah. I do think that they care. I do think that they care a little bit about competitive in terms of like doubles and stuff like that. Because again, the quality of life changes. They're supporting the scene, even though like they still need to work out their prize system and everything like that. And I feel like this I don't agree with. Again, not the meta. I don't agree with at all. They're doing things specifically for doubles in their own right, and at least in terms of the game itself, I just think it's rushed, man. But it's a damn shame because again, you're the biggest, media franchise, gaming franchise, whatever it is, right? You have the money. Make a better game, I do think that some things that people complain about are just stupid, and like well, whatever. But I understand holding Pokemon up to like really high regards because of how much money they have and power and influence and stuff like that is important. Now I remember replying to this. I think I said, "Good Lord." Now I said this because I thought when he said Pokemon creators, I thought they were talking about content creators, and I was like, "Damn!" Like I love Pokemon so much. And I was like, damn, like, yeah, I'm able to do this because I make money off of it, but because I make money, I'm able to do what I love, So, but I thought they were talking about me. I was like, damn, good Lord, like, bro, you just calling us all out. Casper should be given a stat buff, yes. If was really good, not due to lack of steel types, but a lack OU, viable poison type Pokemon. I don't think that's true. There's really good poison types in OU. Nidoking, Toxapex, and Galarian, Slowking. Dynamax should never ever return to the game. Fact. Hip-Hop Pursuit are cheap BS moves and getting rid of them was a good thing. I think Pursuit should be back. But Ghost types are living their best life right now, so I can't be mad. X and Y are my favorite main series games? No, they're all for me. You can't have them. Graplock can be used for battle with some effort and have some of the best Gen 8 designs. I love Graplock. I love it in its overworld. I love the way it is like running towards you and whatnot. So cool. I wish it fought better. Pokemon XD and Coliseum have better attack and Pokemon animations than Sword and Shield. I think that some of the moves that matter in Sword and Shield have some really good animations. Like Powerball, again, is my favorite animation, Sword and Shield. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's great. But I agree that like Coliseum and XD, like the Zigzagoon, for instance, like when it got knocked out and it came back and it was actually zigging and zagging, it was fire. Oh man, it's been an hour and 11 minutes. I actually like Battle Stadium singles. I like it, but I hate Dynamax on it. I think it's too broken. Buff Hail's mechanics. I love making weather teams where anything goes and always feel so gimp with Hail teams if I don't include Aurora Bell. It's true. I mean, Hail teams are rarely Hero teams. They're just Aurora Bell teams most of the time. No 60-minute battle time or strategy used by Game Freak and TPCI to get more people to play VGC than ever before. This dude's name is Struggling VGC Player, which is so funny. That comment's hilarious with your name. I have to. I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to say no. Like, that might be the case. But I have to believe it's just an oversight because, like, the ability to have this timer is in the game, right? We just can't select it. But the rules are actually there. We just can't select it. Why? Why would you do this? You can't. And just the fact that they're making it, like, not playable is just, it's so dumb. One of the best things you can do for your game is give players the option to play it how they want, right? One of the best things about Pokemon is the fact that you can enjoy it in so many different ways, right? You can collect the Pokemon cards. You can shiny hunt. You can just catch all of them and get your Pokedex and maybe get them all to level 100. Maybe that's like what you do. Maybe you like beating the Elite Four 100 times. Maybe you like playing VGC. Maybe you like playing Battle Stadium 3v3. Maybe you like playing 6v6. Maybe you like playing 1v1. But the fact that I could do that in the past with no one getting in my way, man, triple battles, rotation, whatever the hell you wanted to do, right? Black and white, going back to that. Like, the fact that I could do that in the past was so great for Pokemon. In fact, the longevity in Pokemon is not, oh, this needs DLC. All this needs a Battle Tower. Battle Tower and Battle Stadium and Battle Frontier and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, those are part of the longevity because it's battling. But the longevity of Pokemon has never been the actual in-game and what you can do. It's the battling, right? That's the longevity of Pokemon, the ability to battle and battle your friends. And the fact that you are limiting what we are able to do is just, like, why? Like, what? Why? Pokemon Showdown damage calculator needs a dark mode? Okay. I don't know about that. I think it looks fine. Tyranitar was actually sick against Darker Shifu with Shower, Wicked Blow, didn't crit, and with type, it took everything Shifu could not. After taking a hit to Toxic your opponent, you can take another one, Dragon Tail, swap it out, but you couldn't beat it, so. Advanced Battles is the best season of anime. I really liked Master Quest. I think the Orange Islands were great. I also feel like Battle Frontier was fantastic. Amazing theme song, too. I think Pursuit like moves should come back nerfed. How would you nerf him? Keep him weak? Instead of doubled? Instead of double 1.5 times? You shouldn't be able to miss the move if you harbor your opponent. How would you even program that? Hey, if you're going for a fire, if your opponent has a water type out and you have a fire type and you go for a fire type attack as they switch out to their grass type, that has to always hit. Like, how would you do that? I know that specifically you're probably talking about moves like Draco Meteor and Toxic. And the reason I mentioned that is because missing a Toxic is always crucial. Focus Blast is another one. Missing Focus Blast is always crucial. You have very few opportunities to do it. And missing Draco as well, especially if they have a fairy type, a fairy type in front of you. Excuse me. I'm definitely going to sleep in a sec because I'm like mixing up my words. So I'm definitely exhausted. But if you have like a fairy type in front of you and you predict the Pokemon, you go for Draco. I mean, yeah, missing it is stupid. If you take Rain out, oh, you know ever win again. Is this guy trying to say they're too good? Then you rebalance. Oh, my bad. Namco, make the next Pokemon game. New Snap for the Switch looks gorgeous and the animations look solid. I think you got to remember that Pokemon Snap is a dead genre. It's an on-rails FPS game. That is a dead genre. The reason why the game looks gorgeous is because there's virtually nothing to play. You are sitting in something. You can't do anything different. I mean, maybe they'll let you explore in this. Who knows? But for the most part, you're just sitting there and taking pictures. So the game has to look good to balance the fact that there's actually no gameplay. And this is coming from somebody who absolutely loves Pokemon Snap. It's my favorite thing. But I do acknowledge the fact that, okay, I'm sitting here taking pictures. And that's the game. That is the game. Split releases are pay to win by letting you bypass the GTS. And the National Dex needed to go earlier. Again, pay to win. I wouldn't mind the National Dex earlier. I mean, with Pokemon Black and White, they tried to do something like that. I don't know why Pokemon Black and White was so like poorly received. I like what they did originally. They got rid of all the old Pokemon and they gave us a whole bunch of new Pokemon. I love that. I did. Of course, Pokemon wasn't as big back then, and a lot of people weren't as vocal. Social media wasn't as big. Twitter was around, but it wasn't as crazy as it was now, right? But yeah, I don't know why they make two different versions of the game. Just make one version of the game too. Why are they doing two different versions? I shouldn't have to trade with somebody to do something or buy both. They need to rebalance. I'm gonna leave it with this, but Bug types and the Bug typing needs a huge buff offensively and defensively. I agree. I think Bug should be super effective against Fairy and have more resistances, like resisting Fairy. They need to rebalance every Pokemon, put them all in roughly the same playing field. If everyone is broken, nobody is. So I don't think every Pokemon necessarily needs it, but again, I've always advocated that anything Gen 4 and down, specifically Gen 3 and down, really do need buffs because the power creep is so much different now. Even like Gen 2 and down specifically, but like the power creep is so much different now. These Pokemon are trying their best to really handle what's around now. They just can't. But I'm going to leave it with that. So thank you for watching, listening rather. I know there's so many more I can go through, and just for Ricardo Gary. There's so many more we can go through. If you did enjoy this type of video, let me know. I'll do more like these in the past. Obviously, following or subscribing to my channel, but also follow me on Twitter too, because I'll be going back and forth between where I ask them, just because I think I get different opinions. But if you do enjoy this, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, let me know your Pokemon hot takes. And like I said, I have a G Fuel code. Use code AIM for 30% off. Again, it is a caffeinated product, so please be aware of what you're bringing in, but what you're drinking, how much you're drinking. But they do have a hydration formula, which has absolutely no caffeine, and that has no calories either, no sugar. And I personally love the strawberry lemonade. It's great. And use code AIM. It's 30% off until Tuesday. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, listening. Have a great one. Goodbye, my friends. And let me know your Pokemon hot takes.